I've been reusing everyone's chapstick. I've just said it's like I've kissed 8 blokes last night.
We'll leave that in, by the way. It's good. Yeah,
I only saw 4.
Yeah. What about you two? You two blokes look like you climbed out of a river of shit.
It's been a big campaign, Matthew.
Yeah.
6 days.
6 days.
Yeah. It's been good, though. We've had Leon, we've had Ben, the producer, and we've had Hindmarsh.
Wow.
Good company.
Has it been a good crew?
Yes.
How's it been? Because you and Matthew are quite similar. How's it been not having kind of your right-hand man on the drink with you?
It's been actually quite refreshing.
You wake up feeling
Especially
good.
wake up being more refreshed.
It's been there has been times when I've needed to break away from said gang or crew.
Yes.
And Matthew would be the perfect avenue. But no, I've had a good time. I don't want to bag them. Just different conversations.
What have you been doing? Has it all been in around Vegas?
We went up to, day one was, and then we went up to Toonapa, which is an old goldfield.
Yeah, right.
Which was the haunted house.
Oh, how was that?
That was good. It was what my favourite ghost was, the dead prostitute, Lady in Red, they called her.
Yes.
So allegedly she was turning tricks one night, and her client got out of bed, realised that she's also had another client who happened to be his brother.
Oh, wow.
And so things went down. She got stabbed outside of the room where I stayed, room 504.
You slept in her room?
Yeah, I slept in the dead prostitute's room.
Yeah, probably not the first time.
And there was nothing. I didn't see any ghosts, but I definitely felt something.
Oh, you felt presence?
Yes. My arm kept getting pulled down the back of the bed.
Your arm? Oh, right. All night?
Oh, 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, wow.
And Hindy, I'll let Hindy tell his story. He heard a lady mixing tea, like a teaspoon in a porcelain cup.
Wow.
I presume it was the dead LJ just
making, refreshments.
Well, for her clients, she probably thought there was someone in her bed, because there's a lot of ghosts, the spirits are still there, and they're wondering why there's a big fat pig lying in his bed.
Yeah, get out of my bed.
In her bed.
Have you ever had a experience with a sort of paranormal? Is that your only ever ghost experience?
Other than Gordon, but he's gone off. He's left us. No, we had one in our house, my wife and I, Britt.
Oh, really?
It's a good story, actually. Well, it's not a good story.
We'll be the judge.
So, the house we first bought was quite cheap, and the great Wayne Beavis bought the house for us.
Oh,
Champion.
Now are you?
He went to the auction, because that was my first time doing at an auction, but he did it for us. Anywho, we got a house quite cheap. We settled, moved in, and a bloke said, "You know why you got your house so cheap?" I said, "No, because the previous owners, unfortunately, their daughter committed suicide in the house.
Oh, jeez.
So it wasn't great." And that was it. That was the end of the conversation. 6 months later, some strange things started happening in our house. It was a 2-bedder, semi. And one day I was on the landline, the phone, and I could hear scratching on the door. You hear that?
Yeah.
And that was when I thought the dog was stuck in there. And I was on the phone in the hallway. Anyway, yelled, heard the scratch again. I said, "Brett, can you get Munson?" Because that was the man named after Roy Munson.
From Kingpin?
Kingpin, Munson.
Great movie.
I said, "Can you get Munson out?" And Brett goes, "Munson's with me." Oh. So we heard the scratching. That was the first thing. Second thing was all the bins one night. We were watching the cricket. And I think Buff Lehman was out there just running. He was running wickets.
Yeah.
Because he tore his hammy. That's got no bearing on the story. But then the bins all just fell over. So then Britt started freaking out. And we wouldn't go in the room. Finally, her friend, Amy, who the Texans' former,
ex-wife.
That all went down.
Yeah.
Anywho,
it happens.
A third of people. Amy said, you two are just full of shit. There's no ghosts. She went into the bed, and about 3 a.m., she came running out, screaming, jumped into our bed. And now this is something that wasn't going down. And we said, "What happened?" She goes, "I just saw a ghost. There's a little girl sitting on the end of my bed, blah, 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 blah." She described her red hair, plaits. We then went to another funeral about a month later, and Amy saw...
The
girl was in, the memorial thing you get from it.
And was that the girl that died in the house?
Correct.
Wow.
So Amy just freaked out a bit and said that's and explained it. Spot on. So we had to go. This was the early years of the internet. So we had to get a priest or some sort of exorcism
to come over and sort of bless the place.
Yeah. They do sage.
Sage.
Yeah. We did the same with our house. We had a house, and someone said to me, "Oh, good luck," because the previous 3 owners, their wife, they'd ended up divorced.
Oh, right.
And at the time, Trish and I were arguing a lot. So Trish worked with a white witch, and she did. She was a teacher, but on the spare time, she was a white witch.
Oh, yes, I know the girl.
You know?
I know. Yeah, she used to teach me as well.
Yeah, she did.
Teach you what?
Obviously, didn't do that good a job.
Witchcraft.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, anywho, she came over and she went around the house. She goes, "Yeah, there's a presence in the house," and
It was
I went, "Okay, no worries." And she lit the sage, and we didn't argue for another week.
Yeah, you have to say the spirit. There's bad spirits and good spirits.
Yeah.
I'd imagine the dead prostitute up the road up here, bad spirit.
Bad spirit, yeah.
And the good spirit was...
Well, you don't know the circumstances.
No.
Well, there was one. We once did a house inspection. Went and had a look at a house to buy in Eleanor Heights.
Yep.
So we walk up, mate, cracking place. You got views even from that far to the water. When
Good
mate,
vistas.
this is good. I love it. Like, I'd fall in love with the houses all the time. You know, you go in again, you say, "Oh, I want to buy it." And Trish, the voice of common sense, so no, we're not. Anyway, this place, we're sold on it just about. We're standing in the kitchen. Excuse me.
Bless you.
And we get the, and Trish goes, "Oh my God, I just feel something. I can feel something really weird." Anyway, we left and we spoke to the real estate agent again. Anyway, someone got in touch with us. "Oh, mate, you had a look at that house?" Yeah. "Oh, mate, that's haunted." They said the kitchen area is haunted.
Wow.
And shit, yeah.
Only the kitchen area.
I think so.
Might have been Bernard King, the ghost of Bernard King.
It was the kitchenette. Yeah.
Well,
He used to be the nasty judge on.
He was terrible.
He was.
Bernard King, you would remember Bernard King,
no.
boys.
What's he from?
He was a Channel 10 icon, but he used to have. He was a chef. He was probably one of the first celebrity chefs.
Correct. Okay.
And there was a talent show. And he was one of the judges.
Like Ready Steady Cook or one of those ones?
No.
Any
acts, singing, and you can get on if you actually Google or put on YouTube Bernard King, and some of his things that he would say to people were just so bad. They were so horrible and mean spirited. It's fantastic.
Yeah. I always love the judge who's really tells it how
the villain.
Yeah.
He always had a villain.
Okay, here's the first series of Australian Idol. Who was the villain? Was it Dicko? Was it Marsha? Or was it Mark Holden? Who do you think? Who was the villain there?
It was
Dicko.
It was, but then Marsha would. She had a bit of a serpent tongue.
Yeah, she
could
tells it like
strike.
it is.
She could strike.
Yep.
And Mark Holden, well, he was famous for touchdown, and all the gold would explode in the.
Yeah,
what great!
I love how he'd be real coy and he'd go, "Well, let me just have a think about the performance. You did this well, and I'm thinking touchdown."
They'd always try to hide it.
And then, mate, Dicko. Remember the one Dicko got? He said something about Paulini. Mate, it was huge.
That's what I was trying to remember. What it was. It was a big scandal.
Yeah, I think he established himself at that point that he was probably the bad.
But
judge.
he referenced something in there. I think it was her ad. She used to do ads for Paddy's Markets.
Did she?
Yes. Remember Delilah did Cash and Carry?
Yeah.
Campbell's Cash and Carry?
Yeah. Campbell's Cash and
Sorry,
Carry.
we're reminiscing.
That was the
18 to 24.
I tell you what, the flight over was interesting.
Yeah.
So Buzz.
Oh.
Because you're on the charter, right?
On the charter.
Yeah.
Buzz was like cock of the walk. He was walking, mate, going around the Qantas Club going, come to me and said, "What number are you, Matty? Good seat."
That's not how he talks. You know how he
Mate, what seat are you? Yeah, he's just got that smile. He's yeah, you know he's good. Yeah, I said, "Oh, no, Luke, 6F." And he goes, oh, mate, I got an upgrade. I'm in 1A. And I went, "Oh, yeah, but like, so you were in your economy?" "No, mate, I was in seat 7, but Valendi's given me an upgrade to 1A." And I went, "Really? That's not really an upgrade." He goes, "Yeah, mate. Yeah, mate. It's an upgrade." Buzz didn't sleep the whole time. He was over there. He was just walking around, just bleeding people for information.
Oh my God!
Who was on there? What sort of characters on there?
It wasn't as much fun as last time, Fletch. Remember when there was Jimmy Graham? Jimmy Graham was on fire.
He was on our flight.
Was he, Jim?
Over, yeah, he came here early. He was in LA for a few
I've
days.
heard Jimmy's been going hard.
I could only imagine seeing him last year. He was talking about spirits. He was like a ghost walking around the casino
Oh,
floor
yes.
last year. But I think he had a good time in California the last few days before he came.
Yeah, he's got a gang there. He's got mates that live over
yeah.
there.
Did you boys see him at LA Airport?
Well, yeah, we're on the same flight. That's what I
Oh,
just
sorry,
said.
I said last year.
Oh no,
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
flight this year. We were on. Mal Meninga was on our flight.
Yep.
Who else, Jake? Anyone else? No.
We had there were a few of the partners of the Raiders players were on the
Oh,
on our
yeah?
flight.
Oh, mate, don't worry about that.
Just turn him down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
never mind.
Yeah, turn him down.
While we're on, actually, sorry, mate. Before we get into that,
Sorry, mate.
back to your flight. Who else was on there? Fox League talent. Was it only Fox League people?
No, there was a few fans there. There was no one really there from Channel 9. It was so it was Buzz, Peter V'landys and all his family were on there. Hoops was on there. Lara, Braith, me and Braith were sitting next to each other. They put the good looking blokes together.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Does he do a lot of skin maintenance on the flight? He seems like the kind of guy that would rub
Gordon
moisture.
Gordon was on the flight. Gordon was doing lots of skin maintenance.
Really?
Yep.
Was he also doing the rounds like Buzz?
Like-
Because he'd be sucking out information for people.
Gordon, because with the flight, they said, listen, a bit of goodwill, get up and you wander down. So I went. You went for style. Now a lot of people, a lot of Kiwis were on the flight for the Warriors. Tons of Penrith people.
Yeah.
Having a chat. Went down for about 20 minutes. So Gordon went down there, come back 2.5 hours later.
Oh god.
I reckon they'd have been begging. They'd have been going, ding ding, mate, can you take this bloke away?
He would have had a heap of business cards.
Oh, mate.
That's his first question.
But he was
Come back with all their Rolexes.
Yeah, what do you do?
And then Tony Chalmers, of course, the man who Parramatta Balmain Tigers legend, played to. How was this? TC told me this. TC's a bit of legend TV, does floor director. TC told me once, he said, grand final day in 1986, he played reserve grade and they got beat. And I was like, oh, mate, it's terrible. This is for Parramatta. And then he went on the bench for first grade and then come on at half time and they win the grand final. First grade grand final. How weird would that be? So you're with all your mates, lose your reserve grade grand final, mate, you come and sit on the bench, sit on the bench, get on half time, and you'll win the first grade grand final.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's on there, and TC, mate, he likes to drink. TC, he really pounds it in. Him and Hoops were sitting together. I was looking over and just going, mate, here we go.
Who's the quickest drinker in all of television?
Who?
TC, Tony Chalmers. They've said he's the one person you wouldn't want to get in a round
Yeah.
with.
Oh,
Quickest drinker in television.
Well, that era, they can all drink.
yeah.
Ciro can drink when he wants to.
Apparently it's three sips.
Well, the best,
Three
mate,
sips of the wind.
probably the
Three sips is done.
best drink of just about all time, I reckon, rugby league is Mal. Your man who flew on your flight. Mal Meninga, I went to a bar once in Sydney, and this young bloke was serving. He goes, oh, Matty, you had some of your colleagues in last night. This is about 5 years ago. So, oh, yeah, who was that? He said, Gordon Tallis, Justin Hodges, and Mal Meninga. I went, yeah, oh, mate. I said, terrific place. He said, they were really, really good. But he goes, mate, Mal, he said, I was just counting him. He said, Mal was under about his 20th scooter. And so I went up to the manager and I said, oh, listen, Mr. Meninga, Nat, mate, I've just poured him about his 20th drink. What should I do? And he goes, what do you mean? He goes, should I cut him off? He goes, no, how does he look? He said, mate, looks fine. He said, just keep serving him. Mate,
What?
so, yeah, TC was, TC's pissed. I'm 2 hours into the flight and I'm sitting watching the first series of White Lotus, watching it all again, especially the arse eating.
Oh, yes, when he goes to town. That's probably the best one.
That's the best arse eating I've seen for a long time.
Best,
Yeah,
series.
Anyway, series, of course.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, I just feel this tap. I turn around, it's TC. And TC's it's 2 hours in, but he's obviously just been smashing the grog. And I go, hey, TC, what's doing, mate? He goes, oh, mate, I've just come down here to say I'm real proud of you, mate. Oh, mate. Proud of you for what? He goes, oh, mate, I don't know if you remember about 20 years ago on the footy show, you said to me, TC, I'll never be able to be a host. And I said, no, mate, you're going to be able to be a host. And now look at you. I'm just proud of you, mate. I went, see you, TC. So,
yeah.
Question, Fletch, because we're here in Vegas. It's
Yes.
a Vegas theme. But let's talk about holidays. You three blokes have just come back from Japan not long ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
loved it.
We weren't together, obviously, but you were over there. Were you snowboarding?
I went, but we were there for 6 days, and we broke it up. Then we went to Osaka, and the skiing was okay, but I preferred everything else after that.
What?
Shinjuku.
Oh, Shinjuku's good, right?
Far out. We were in the red light district. Well, this is supposedly the red light district, but I didn't. You had to go look for it.
No, they're not as gregarious and out there, their red light districts as the Western.
Yes, the Western. But I loved it. I love the people. I love everything about it.
It's a strange, it's an obscure place, isn't it? Some of the weird thing. I remember you were telling me that not that you went to this sort of establishment, but there's a place where apparently it's really disrespectful for you to pleasure yourself in your own home.
Culturally, yes, obviously, because they got a lot of rules, high standards.
Yes.
But you're alluding to the fact that we saw these girls holding these posters, like signs, and they were everywhere. Obviously in Japanese, and they didn't look real happy. They looked cranky. And so I met this guy over there who married a Japanese wife, so she could read the sign. I said, what's they saying there? And it was to go upstairs and pleasure yourself.
Masturbate.
Yeah, masturbate.
Sure.
In little rooms. But it was so bizarre because it was in increments of 14 minutes or 28 minutes. So the girl leaves you in the room by yourself. You put the TV on, and I suppose it's a bit like a sperm bank. I don't know if you've been to a sperm bank. Like when you donate.
Oh, yeah, no.
Anyway, well, you get locked in the room and you sit in a leather chair like this, and the TV
have you been to a sperm bank before?
I did the plumbing on one.
So why were you sitting in the chair?
Because we finished it and we were fitting off. And the lady just said, would you like, yeah. So there could be a little bear's head running out there. Like another one.
What about, mate, doing the plumbing at a sperm bank? It's fair to say you use electric eel, or did you have to get the hand down?
No, we were no one had moved in yet, so we were refurbing it.
Oh, right.
We were doing all that.
I was going to say, like, obviously you cut into the wrong pipe at some places and you get urine and poo all over you. I wonder if you cut in the wrong pipe there.
Oh, you get curcumin. I don't know. It's not a bad idea. I think they get rid of it. You got to get rid of that. It's a biohazard.
You flush it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Otherwise, you end up like Drake.
Yeah.
You know what happened to Drake?
What happened to Drake?
Well, when he has a rendezvous and he's got a Keith Bonnie on, what he does, he puts Tabasco sauce in it.
What?
After he used it, because the girls were going in to try and grab it and
impregnate themselves.
So
that's the height of paranoia.
Yeah, well, no,
but it was true. Yeah,
and a girl sued Drake for injuries.
Yeah, because she tried to do it and then burnt herself.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
who's in the wrong there?
Who do you flip a coin? Why can't you just take it with you?
Yeah,
maybe just don't do it in the first place.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's immoral.
Yeah.
You said about Japan how it's. Would you like to hear a little story why it's preserved?
I would love to.
Preserved from?
You know, when you go there, you go, "My God, I'm on a different planet." Coop said, "Oh, it's like nothing else."
Yeah.
Like, right. So, 1600s, boys. Right, 1600s. It's the only place in the world that hasn't been dominated by Catholicism. So what they did, the Catholic Church sent over the number one missionary in the world, St. Francis Xavier, to convert the country, which he did in a very short period of time. But all the ruling parties had realised they'd lost all their power. Catholicism was absolute. So what they did, they went right over, they cast St. Francis Xavier off in a boat, said never to come back again.
Where'd he go?
I don't know, back to Ireland, maybe.
It's a long time.
Because he was a slave. He was a slave of Francis Xavier. And what he did, they went around to all the people and said, renounce Catholicism or you'll be drawn and quartered. So people would either be killed or they'd renounce. And they said, we can't let this happen again. So for the next 250 years, they had boats just circling the island. And if anyone who an outsider come in, they'd just kill them straight away. So it was preserved for that long. Now, it wasn't until the Industrial Revolution, 1852, that they actually realised how far they were behind the world. And they reached out to the Yanks and said, can you help us? So the Americans went there. And they went, the capital was Kyoto. That's you can't need a port city. So they went this tiny little fishing village of about a dozen people live called Edo, and that's Tokyo. And so that's why the Japanese preserve their culture so much. Oh. That's why it's so different to anywhere in the world. Do you find that's it, Jack? Turn him up. Jack, is that interesting?
I sort of lost concentration. I feel like a cuck in this room, in this hotel room, just watching you three talk.
Really?
Again,
turn him down.
Yeah.
Turn him back down. Sorry.
Well, it is a different. But the other thing is, there's no such thing as severance over there. So companies, because you all work so hard, the country is struggling financially because companies have to basically keep paying people.
Oh, really?
So if you know, like, there's no such thing as staff cuts.
Yep.
Because it's such an embarrassment to lose your job, and they work so hard. So there's no reason for them to lose. So companies,
salaryman. They just fall asleep on the job to impress their boss. They sometimes act asleep at the desk to say
they're like,
they're working.
wow, they've worked themselves to a standstill.
Yeah.
It's the only place in the world where real estate, or major developed country in the world where real estate goes down. You buy a house, you're going to lose money on it.
Yeah. Hey, Fletch, can I quickly ask you? Sorry, that was very interesting, the story that you told as well.
Thanks.
Hopefully no one's had a micro sleep on the road after hearing that. I just want to ask, last night we all had a night out. Matthew was obviously on the plane. Myself, Jack, you, and Hindy. But you disappeared quite quickly. I just wanted to know, live on the air, where'd you go?
I went and got...
Did you smoke bomb?
Yeah, yeah. I'm the king of smoke bombing.
Oh, right.
I just usually my go-to is I buy everyone a drink and then bail, and then they go, "Where'd Fletch go?"
Yeah,
he goes, I'll be got a drink. He's not a bad bloke. And I'm gone.
Yeah, when you say you bought a drink,
he's very. I've been in the midst of a really big night with Fletch, and suddenly just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Poof.
Gone. Yeah, we missed you. We did miss you last night. We went to the Honky Tonk Bar, which was like this country. Blake Shelton owns it.
Blake Shelton.
You know
not
Blake
familiar
Shelton?
with Blake Shelton.
Blake Shelton. He's on American Idol. He's one of those, or maybe The Voice or something like that.
Gwen Stefani.
Dating Gwen Stefani.
Wow.
Currently,
yes.
I used to like TRL.
What's that?
That used to be a live MTV show with what was his name? Carson Daly.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That really kicked off the boy band.
But we walked in. Guess who was in there? Dean Witters and Shaun Berrigan.
Shawnee Berrigan.
Yeah, they were in there. Hindy went up. I didn't sort of know exactly who they were at the start because, you know, a lot of those boys, they get older, they start to age. It's hard to tell what they look like. Shaun Berrigan, though, Hindy goes, that's Shaun Berrigan.
Clive Churchill winner.
Winner.
2006.
He also managed to tell me 6 times that he won 2 grand finals as well.
Oh, yes.
Barrow, thanks for that. And but he was standing there. It was like a scene out of Wedding Crashers. He goes, he was talking to Hindy, and Hindy reached across to tap me on the shoulder. He said, I reckon we get out of here soon. And Barrow must have been like, who's Hindy talking to? And he goes, he looks at me and goes, who the fuck are you? It was like Will Ferrell coming down in Owen Wilson's character. And he's like, who the fuck
Yeah, Chaz.
Yeah.
Chaz. And I go, oh, Cooper. And he goes, Cooper who? And he was looking at me and I was like, oh, he's like getting angry. And I was like, oh, Cooper Johns. And then he was like, why didn't you say so, brother? and then ever since that moment, he just kept told me just glory days stories.
Oh, mate,
is he looking in good nick?
Mate,
he's quite fit.
He's actually looking pretty good.
Yeah.
He kept. I tell you what, he was dumbfounded about particularly Jack's height. He just kept going, where do you get your height from?
Yeah,
where do you get your height from? He kept saying, you're Mark Hughes' son.
What?
To Jake. He kept going, no, you're not a Johns. You got to be Mark Hughes' son.
Do you know Barrow, geez, mate, he had a lot of shit in him when he was a player. He was a terrific player. We played him once, and he was his first year of first grade. And we went off at the end of the game, and blokes like Dave Fairley and that would just fucking going berserk. We said, what happened? He goes, mate, that young bloke, that Shaun Berrigan, he was doing the old, you know, you go shake a bloke's hand and go, I gotcha, move the hand away. He did that to all our forwards. He goes, yeah, mate, thanks for, yeah, gotcha. Next one, yeah, gotcha. It takes some balls doing that.
I can tell he was a character last night. I can tell he had some.
Why is he over here?
They're over here with the Arthur Beetson Foundation.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
The NRL.
Yes, with the NRL. They're doing some stuff over here. Obviously, just at Blake Shelton's bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just having a good time.
Tomorrow night we got our first show.
Yeah.
How many years have we been doing it for now?
I think this is 11 years. Hindy was talking about. We got 15 minutes.
13 years.
Hindy.
Oh, this is the 13th year.
Hindy. You the year after. Sorry, put my levels up, Cooper.
Yeah.
Were you the year after? Hindy, we actually asked Hindy last night, and he said there was a year there transition from when you came.
Yeah,
gotcha.
You were a serious commentator there.
I was doing this stuff with Shervo. Yeah.
Super Saturday.
Yeah. He's doing good, Shervo, by the way.
He's doing great.
Well done, Matty.
I must say, I didn't think he had it in him.
He raced a Formula One car the other day.
Did he?
Raced at 100 meter, 50 meter sprint or something, and he beat it. I mean, he had a head start. I think the driver was easing up on the gas.
It was Miss Daisy driving.
Yeah. Oh, where did you? You know how you see a lot of play. I've always wondered this. I always wanted to ask you, as one of the great rugby league minds, because a lot of players transition directly from rugby league straight into commentary or something like that. But you didn't. You were doing plumbing, right?
Well, we were facility services, cleaning, maintenance, grounds.
Seat
cleaning, big at that.
But
I went to Wigan, came back, and then started working.
But like, who approached you to do TV?
Gary Burnsy. So I was at the Roosters. We did it was like a Team of the Century night, and Vossi was the host, and there was a panel, and we're just talking about stuff, and Burnsy was in the audience, and I told a story, and then the next day Burnsy goes, well, he rang me that night, actually, and I had a missed call from Gary Burns, who I didn't really know, sort of. I'd been in the footy show a little bit, but he was blind, and I could hear pokies in the background. So he rang me 11 o'clock that night, or 12 o'clock that night, and then I rang him the next day, and I said, oh, Burnsy just rang me. He goes, who? What? No, fuck, I didn't, did I? And I go, yeah, I got a message from 11:30. And then he goes, oh, okay, come in to Fox, because he just came over from 9 to Fox and said, have a meeting. And that was it.
So it's one story on a panel.
Yeah.
He's got a good ear. You know, you only need to hear once. It's like sometimes we sing, you only need to read one note. You know they got it.
Yeah.
I had a beer with him last week.
Yeah, how was he going?
It's going good. I went over and me and Fano had a beer, got Fanoed.
Oh, yeah.
Then we went over and saw Burnsy. Burnsy, you know, because Burnsy was, you know, he ran the midday show back in the day, which the boys would know about. It was hard to believe that, you know, midday through the week was one of the highest rating spots in television back in the day. Ray Martin, Kerry and Kenley, nonetheless. So,
who was the pianist? Jeff?
It
the
was
beard?
Jeff Harvey.
Jeff Harvey,
champion, one of the best blokes. Anyway, he used to. Burnsy said to me because he went in sport and all the rest of it, and he worked under Packer. So the pecking order was Packer at the top, Lecky, and then the bottom after that. Well, the third one down was Burnsy. We're having a chat one day. He goes, Matty. I said, what happened to Channel 9? He goes, oh mate, you know, my time's become and. Oh, yeah. He goes, mate, do you ever tell you about the time? He said, when I got sacked at 9, what happened? I went, no. He goes, right. I went over for the US Open. He said it was the thing I look forward to most every year. Went over there for Niles Wide World of Sports. And he said, I used to go to this vodka bar that was just like the best. And he said it was just, I arrive in New York, jump in, have a shower, put the clothes on, walk into the vodka bar, gets a call. Hey. Yeah. It's Kerry. Oh, g'day, Mr. Packer. What are you doing? Yeah, I'm over here for the US Open. All right, right. Well, get yourself on a plane, get back here. So he had to jump on a plane, came all the way back, and finished. Done.
I sacked him then when he got back.
Yeah.
Oh, why?
It's pretty ruthless.
Redundancy?
I'd say there would have been.
Yeah, okay.
But it made a fantastic fella, Burns.
He is a good fella.
Wouldn't have it in Japan.
And was one of the best war correspondents back in the days, too.
Yeah, Gary Burns. We nearly got him sued from a skit that we shot on your Channel 7 show. We won't say what it was.
Don't allude to it. But he was being sued. Burnsy was being sued by a guy with the same name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yep.
Not by the actual...
No. The guy who was suing him, they actually had shared the same name. It was Gary Burns suing Gary Burns.
Oh, okay.
Can we just turn down the mics for a sec and tell me the story?
Yeah. I'll do some stuff and I'll
can we just we'll talk
a bit like the Rod Stewart story.
Perfect.
Okay.
So there was a skit that
we're good now, though. We're good now.
Sorry, we'll fast forward that bit.
Yeah, we get sort of
like that.
Bit like the Rod Stewart story.
Can I quickly
go on?
Because you've been over here for 6 nights. You were here when the whole Raiders incident
happened.
You were in Vegas at the time. Any inside scoop for us?
No, well, they were saying it was inflatable hammers.
Yeah.
Inflatable bats.
Yeah.
Inflatable baseball bats.
No, yeah. But they were just mucking around in the lift. See, in the old days, because I understand it was for the bed.
Yeah.
And in the old days, all the room, and I think one had a king, one had a queen. You just rock off.
You would.
That was the old...
Toss a coin
or rock off. You used to have
off.
roommates.
Well, some of the...
Unless you're room with Lazo and he'd just take it.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of the some of them when I was at Melbourne, some of the boys would wrestle for it. They would say, "I'll wrestle you for it," because you wrestle at training all the time, and you'd whoever could get double underhooks and put them on their back first got the king bed.
Oh, okay. No, we're just rocking off.
So so you guys would wrestle in the room.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
For the bed.
For the king bed.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I could see Morgan and Hudson potentially doing a little wrestle. It was in the elevator for the bed.
Yeah. Did it make big news in Sydney?
Yeah,
yes, it did.
Oh, really?
It's everywhere.
But everyone's aware of it. Everyone's now, like, as most things of that nature, as time goes in 24 hours, people go, look, inflatable baseball bats hit each other. I mean, who cares?
I know. I sort of scanned through the comments to see how the fans were responding to it, and everyone was just like, "Who cares?"
Yeah.
Everyone was like, "Look, it's just who hasn't had a little bit of a wrestle with your mate on a night?"
Absolutely. And the security guard was watching because over here in Vegas, tip for young players, every lift's got cameras in it. So the security guard, instead of going up to level 10 or whatever, he pressed the button. He controlled the lift to bring him back down, and he told him to get out of the hotel.
There's a few tips I reckon we're going to give people when they're over there. One of the big ones is when you're playing the hokey pokies, if you win more than 1,200, you'll be taxed
30%.
30%.
As a foreigner?
Yeah.
So if you're playing the pokies over here, people, play it down to 1,150.
That's a great tip.
Yeah, that's a good tip. And if you don't, because again, cameras are everywhere. If you try to be a bit coy and a bit clever, they'll get you.
Yeah.
Did you get?
We tried to jump in. We won 1,500 last year, and I knew that of this law. So I asked this little lady around here. By the time I'd got to the lady to ask her, was she a resident? The guy was up here, and she said anyway. She said you can't because there's cameras here. They wouldn't allow it.
Oh, so they're that strict on it?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, they should have stopped me from spending that last night.
What about War last night, Kit? We were playing War.
Did you go to the Cosmo?
It went to the Cosmo. It might be the quickest gambling I've ever played.
How good is it?
Yeah, it's a great game.
Casino War.
It's just higher or lower.
That's why a lot of people, they won't have it in their casinos.
Well, we had a guy, was it Ralphie Cooper? I think his name was Ralphie or something like that.
Something like that.
And he was, mate.
He was your dealer?
Big fella, almost
or
like
your croupier?
Well, he was our dealer, but he was like
card dealer.
Dealer. Okay.
He was like a bodybuilder, right?
Yeah.
So he's sitting there at the table dealing them, and like a bit of arrogance to him. Me and another fella hopped on, and then I won't allude to who he was. And he had this, like, his chest up, and he was dealing them that quick, flicking them over, doing all tricks. And I saw Cooper to the left of me just get a little bit off him. Just, he's sitting there, he's a pretty bloke, like real arrogant, stealing everyone's money. So Cooper grabbed a bit of cash out, walked on, got on the tables, mate. Ralphie took me around the world.
Took me for everything I had. Yeah. I just had to refinance my house.
That's what casinos, they won't have casino war. It's the only one that's in your favour, 55% in your favour.
Yeah. Well, the odds were not in our favour last night. And Ralph was just watching me just go, boss, and just flipping it. Like, he was flipping it at one stage, just how disrespectful he was. He was just like flicking it in his card. He'd flick mine, I had the 7. Yeah. And then he'd just flick his in the air, not even look at it, and it'd land on the wrong way, and I'd be going, and then he'd flip it after, and he'd have an 8.
He's a showman.
Yeah.
So he'd be. So it's fair to say, like, you two blokes just didn't like each other.
But I think it's almost like they tell them, like, go after the create a feud with the person because then they spend more.
Like Dicko.
Yes, like Dicko and Mark Holder.
Because you nearly got back on top a couple times, and then. His arrogance just brought him straight back in.
Yeah. See, that's what they do. When you get the butterfly flippers, you ever been outside the races and they got these blokes just lay a tar hot mix and they'll start playing 2 up outside the races illegally, and that's what they do. They work in pairs and come on, who wants to take me on? Who wants to take me on? And they're butterfly flipping, so it's both going to land double heads every time, but it looks like it's rotating. And then they start going, come on, who wants to have a go? Come on, who wants to take my money? And people who are drunk start going.
Fire up.
Yeah, they start firing up.
What about in that game if you tie?
Yeah, you double down.
But you got to double down, and he only has to put half his bet. So
that's what annoyed me.
You can win $10, just say you're betting 20. So you're outlowing 40 to win 10%, but he gets it all.
I know. Hey, I had the same thoughts last night. I was so angry.
Now, I kept thinking too that, you're betting with American dollars, but in my mind, every dollar was $2 too.
Yeah. Don't convert though.
Yeah, that's another tip for people.
Do not convert.
Be careful.
Well, remember over here last time, every breakfast every morning, double vodka and soda. It's $32, and I was just going,
US.
Yeah, US.
Yeah.
Look, we're getting to the point here, and Fletch. We're going to have some really good things on the show this year. We're not going to give away exactly what it is, but I think of all the things we've ever done in our 11, 12, 13 years, the Leon Hamoli Olakawatu thing, I think will have the biggest reaction.
Yes.
Yes. We don't want to go too much.
We can't go too much
away. I actually, but if I'm chatting to your producer Benny Hogarth, I think it'll be on next week potentially, right? Is it kicking off the year?
Is it
round 1? I believe. For Fletch and Hindy's.
I couldn't tell you, but the Hogarth would know.
So I got an idea for a promo for the show leading up to it. I reckon we should show people and just watch people, the viewers, get the people's reaction about what's going to happen. You go, righto.
Oh, and you pause it,
like the Rod Stewart story. People go, mate, what's going to happen? Build the suspense, ratings, revenue. There you go.
You're a marketing whiz.
Now, Fletch, we do a thing, Lone Survivor.
Yeah.
Right? So I got to. So when we do Hindy, it's going to be finding the greatest Eels player of all time.
Yeah.
Today, for you, I'm going to go the best people to have a night out with. Right
Okay.
now. So you pick one,
Oh, you give me a list.
It's like Would You Rather. And
Yeah,
you go through and
okay.
you end up with one, and that's who your favourite person
And the last
Oh,
person
okay.
will be a Lone Survivor.
the winner.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Craig Fitzgibbon or Craig Wing?
Fitzy.
Fitzy or Brad Fittler?
Fitzy.
Okay. Fitzy or Craig Gower?
Oh. Gowie.
Oh, mate. Can't Gowie.
Gowie.
Gowie, Ben Kennedy.
Oh, it's another good one. Because I'm just trying to think of the aftermath of going out. Because my job would have to be probably be easier with Gowie.
Yeah, you got to be Gowie.
Yeah, what you mean? You get fired?
No, BK.
No, just the therapy.
You got no idea the sads he gets. Okay, Gowie or Anthony Minicello?
Oh, Mini.
The Min Cat.
The Min Cat.
Is he still? How's he going, Min?
He's going good. Going good. He's
Terry.
Yep. Well, Terry's in Housewives now.
Oh yeah, she's back.
Yeah, she's back in Housewives. Mini's going good.
Yeah, good.
Was he working with someone over the? He was working with Cameron Munster. He was helping Money with his diet.
Oh, was
over
he?
the off-season break? Yeah, the Mundog.
Mundog
and Mincat.
Yeah. Well, Mini's very good at that. His nutrition.
Yeah. So it could be in for a massive year or a horrendous one.
Mini or Luke Richardson?
You'd have to go the sandwich.
Oh yeah, Luke Waterhouse.
I got to get Lukey.
Yeah.
Sandwich.
Luke Ricketson, Adrian Morley.
Oh, geez, you're making it hard now. Far out. Moz.
Okay. Adrian Morley, Nathan Wood.
Oh,
mate, we've done some beauties over here.
You've gone Woodsy.
Okay. Woodsy, Nathan Highmarsh.
Woodsy all day.
Woodsy, Andrew Johns.
Woodsy.
Of course.
What about Matthew Johns?
Yeah, Matthew didn't throw in there.
Would he get a start? Would he beat Nat
Wood? You would no one would beat Nat Wood. No one would beat Natty.
Yeah, we've had Natty Wood on the potty. Him and Garth. Yeah. Bloody hilarious.
Oh, we had to cut a fair bit of stuff out. Oh, do you remember the timing? How did that not become a thing during COVID? Remember we crossed to him and he was Natty on when we were doing that weird show.
Yeah, NRL Live.
And we said to him, and he was cuddling his dog. We went, oh, mate, that dog's very affectionate. And he told the story of, and I was like, mate, I think we're going to get cancelled. But luckily no one was watching.
Yeah.
Hey, Bruce, before we end it, can we do, just for the people listening back in Australia, quick predictions for the games? I've just got the games here. I'll read them out. Both of you.
Yep.
Warriors and Raiders, who wins?
I'm going Raiders.
I'm going Raiders. Me too.
Really? I'm going Wars.
Oh, yeah.
I think Wars. I think a bit of a scuffle in the elevator.
Oh, you think it could be?
It could serve as a distraction.
But sometimes they can galvanise.
I think it'll galvanise.
They can lucky galvanise. Shout out to Galvin. Cronulla or Penrith?
I'm going Cronulla.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I'm very confident.
Yeah. You're quietly confident?
No, very confident. Not even quietly. Loudly.
Screamed from the heavens.
Why do they say quietly?
I don't know.
Yeah,
don't
know.
Like, that's a story for another day.
Like it almost been, it'll learn that, mate, I got something for you just quietly. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
on the slide.
Quietly confident.
You know, you get those blokes sometimes, listen, mate, I'm sorry. I had bad news, but a lot of people bagging you behind the back. Don't me, I stuck up.
It's like at the races.
Shout out to DC.
When a bloke comes up to you at the races and he goes, don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
They reckon the 6 is juiced.
Yeah.
They reckon it'll win. It'll get around.
Oh, we used to play footy when you were a kid. Like you'd be playing like under 14s up in Newcastle. He goes, I'll make the number 8. Golden Gloves champion.
Oh, you remember that?
Oh, mate, they reckon he can fight and he's fast.
Wait, that happens in every generation. There's always some Golden Gloves champion who's 16, 15-year-old. He can't fight.
I've never met a person who's won the Golden Gloves.
No.
I don't even know if they're a thing.
Does it exist? It's been going for 40 years.
One of my best
Glove.
mates, Matt, who I went to school with, I can say it now, Matty McDougall. Matty McDougall used to tell everyone that he was the third best ranked boxer in Australia.
And it's believable.
And we were all going, look, show us something. And he goes, I can't, because like my fist, if I start throwing them around, like I'll get in trouble.
Because
they
say
legalised weapons.
That's right.
And then he only told us like 2 years ago. He goes, I was full of shit. I was just lying the whole time. He did it from year 7 to like 12.
But that's smart, because if you're number one, it's probably easy to find. But if you could, there's so many belts, you could say, or divisions.
I love that line of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where Brad Pitt's character, who's the stuntman's fighting, Bruce Lee. Yeah. He goes, come on, Kato. And he goes, I will not fight you, because if I kill you, my hands class as lethal weapons. He goes, hey, Kato, if you kill anyone, you're going to go to prison.
Yeah, it's called manslaughter.
Is
that interesting? Wigan versus Warrington.
I've got to go for the old cherry and whites, don't I?
Cherry and
I'm a former player.
You are too, Matthew? You going Wigan as well?
I think Warrington.
Oh, mate, you never back your old team.
He's lemon. You're a sandwich.
Yeah, I'm going Wigan. Gillaroos versus England.
By 1,000,000.
Gillaroos
by 100.
But they haven't been able to train. There's been mishaps and everything. They have not been able to have one training session. But they're a well-oiled machine.
They're a well-oiled machine. And then a quick one just for you, Fletch. Dalian and who's going to win the comp this year?
Melbourne, Storm.
Correct.
And I'm going out wide. I'm going to give it to not a back, because all the halves they always seem to get. I'm going to go for Yowie.
Oh, Yowie.
I mean, they do pinch points. I reckon pinch points. I reckon Fanua Blake.
Yeah, Dad said Fanua Blake. I said Nathan Cleary.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, Fletch, tomorrow night it begins again.
Yeah, it's on. It's on. It's great. Thanks for having me on, boys.
What time's your duties done today?
I should be done by about 2. 2 for 22.
Right, where do we meet? Where do we meet to have a beer?
We the glass house.
Beer house. Sorry. Let's go to the beer house.
Right. We're happy with that?
Yeah.
Right. 2 o'clock, 2:30 at the beer house.
2:30.
2.
Yeah.
2. Okay.
Chinese. Thanks, Jacko.
Thanks, Fletch.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
Oh, look at that.
Wow. Turn him down.